Alright everybody, this is NJS4E.com. Right now we're in New York City on July 18th, 2007. And right here we have one of the DJs of the night, Cosmo
Baker.
Cosmo Baker, exactly, and Scott Melker. And they're doing it up big time. They're the CMB crew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So could you kind of tell the audience, you know, what New Jack Swing means to you?
A New Jack Swing, there's like it's funny because I was talking about this all day. It's kind of like a dual meaning. This is the music of my youth, you know what I mean? This is the music that I grew up listening to. All the stuff that I listened to while I was in high school and in college and whatnot, you know. And it was the greatest music, it was the party music, it was the stuff that got it popping. You know, nothing but the soul. It was kind of like a departure from, of course, you know, kind of like during the 80s was kind of a stagnant period of R&B with several exceptions, of course, you know, but like, you know, New Jack Swing was like infusing I guess infusing the funk, for lack of any other way of putting it, you know what I'm saying, back into the music. So yeah, I mean, basically it's just like a throwback to the sound that I grew up listening to. Right. You know, and it's funny too because, you know, for years as a kid, I was always a big hip hop head. I was big hip hop head. So externally, part of it, I would hate on New Jack Swing. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. But you get to the party, and that's what all the girls dance to. So you know, of course, you know. But it's like New Jack Swing is like cotton candy. It's so good and so sweet. It's not necessarily the best thing for you, but it's wonderful. Yeah, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Scott told me you guys have been putting it down for about the last 10 years, just on the regular.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like we've been DJing together for about 4 years now. We've known each other for about 10 years, and we're both from Philadelphia originally. I mean, I've been DJing for, I guess, going on 20 years. So, you know, we've been, you know, basically it's the stuff that we're playing these days. It's not like it's ironic, or it's not like it's a retro throwback. It's basically the stuff that we came up DJing.
Cool.
You know, so, you know, and yeah, we've been based out of New York for the past 5 years. Originally from Philly, like I said, and we've had this thing called the CMB, which is Cosmo Melker Brothers, Cosmo Melker Baker. However, of course, CMB from New Jack City.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now, last question. You talked about cotton candy and New Jack Swing being kind of sweet, whatever. As a genre, do you feel like it's getting more respect? Did it always have respect? Just speak a little bit about, you know, the genre from a respect standpoint.
Well, I think that just like everything, it goes through phases and cycles, and you know, it will be really popular for. I mean, New Jack Swing had its huge time, you know, during the mid to late '80s into the early '90s when everything was really popping off. I guess sort of on the lines of like an R&B standpoint, like basically it was the sound of R&B and soul, modern soul, before like you know, before like the hip hop really grabbed its hold on R&B. You know, Puffy being a big example of that. You know, but like I was saying, I mean, everything goes in cycles, and so therefore, like, they got some point, right? You know, back then when New Jack Swing was the popular music, that was the hot stuff. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there will be a little bit of a backlash. People always want to hear something new. They want to, okay, I want to get with the new sound or whatever. But the thing is, just like everything, it always comes back around. You know, you've got guys that, you know, who didn't want to listen to, you know, stuff from the 80s, Renee and Angela, or, you know, things like that, you know, some modern soul styles and whatnot. And you know, that kind of, you know, that, oh, we don't want to hear that because it's, you know, it's corny or whatever. But, you know, now you listen to like those records, and those are the records that get the most respect because, you know, the songwriting aspects and the musicianship of it all, you know, and production value, of course. You know, it definitely is recognized, and that's another thing about New Jack Swing. I mean, it really changed the sound and really changed the game a lot. You know, you look at a guy like Teddy Riley, you know, and one of the most influential and respected, at least in my book, producers. You know, and here's a guy who had a full-on impact on creating a sound. You know, so it's like, you know, and like I said, it all comes back around. So, you know, this time around next year, when you see cats driving down the street and they're rocking some Troop out the back of their Jeep, letting you know what's really popping off. It's coming back. New Jack Swing, it never left. It's all good. It's popping off.
All right, well, thanks very much. New Jack Swing forever.
No doubt.